Good day, family. It's me-xi-cain from American Aborigines Unchained here on YouTube and Facebook. And today, this is just should be a brief video. I ended up, uh, I was cleaning out some drawers, um, and then I ended up running into this book, and I bought it a while back. Um, and I think I don't know how the hell it ended up in that drawer, but again, this is what I'm saying about being in tune with what's around you, what your mind's eye, your soul, um, uh, and your energy is uh, mm, portraying or placing in front of you, and just slowing down and paying attention to signs and symbols that are being given to you by the guides. You know what I'm saying? Oh, excuse me. Okay, sorry. Okay, but I'm not about to redo the video. So, um, So anyhow, I just wanted to start doing a couple of these videos here because I think a lot of times we put up images and we might give the description even, and this is me, of what they're saying, but I want to look at what they're saying and maybe not so much. I might even read anything, but just using your visual, just using your sensors like my good friend Kishran Israel. Again, if you're not subscribed to his channel, he goes into depth. He is very intelligent. He is a good soul, a pure soul in my eyes. I'm someone that reads into people very well. And, I have nothing but love and respect for him. Um, you know, I agree with much everything that he displays. Um, And, like I said, we can't all see everything, every single thing eye to eye. But again, I know that whatever words are coming out of his mouth, he's saying them. They have a purpose uh, uh, or some way he's trying to help the people better understand their own, in their own way, and use these tools in order to portray them or share this information with others. So again, um, like I said, I don't vouch for many people, period. But if I know I have a couple of people, a handful of people that I know are good, genuine people, okay? And I don't even have to ever meet them. I just know this. So, anyhow, uh, let's keep on looking here. um, so, and again, maybe his information is very informative. Um, and I just wish that people would realize the strength in some of the people that are maybe not as popularized um, or polarized in these days, because those are the people that are really holding the jewels, right? And I want to get his. I know, like I said, I don't have many subscribers here, and that's fine. And I don't think that that's what he's looking for either. But I would like to get his subscriptions up because, again, the information is very prominent. Okay, if you have time to um, uh, pay attention, okay, it doesn't really cost anything. And to support each other, support the people with the great minds in this time, not just because they have lots of viewers or they can put together a video or something very well. Honor those people as well, but don't forget about the small ones, okay? So anyhow, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and look at this here now. This is just an image. This person is on a black horse. um, I'm noticing even, this face here. Like there was some writings, I can't remember where it was from, a while back that was talking about how when people came to America, they saw people with faces on their chest. Okay, and so they gave these grim images of a man walking around with an actual flesh face on his stomach that could probably talk and shit. But again, we have to think allegorical. We have to think someone giving you a false perception. We have to think all these things too. This seems more realistic here. Um, I also see markings of, and I'm not sure if these are markings or tattoos like the Maori or one of those groups of people. But we see that here. We see he doesn't have like a whole thing of feathers, but he has a turban style bandana around his head. We can tell that this is a so-called Negro, or this is a original here. Okay. His features are, he has maybe a little bit of an Asian feature in a sense, right? Maybe Japanese or something, but at the same time, we know our people, and again, this is something that we have to get used to. Okay. um People have mixtures of things in them. That's what makes this group of American Aborigines so powerful and so potent, because of the mixtures. No one should be embarrassed or try to hide anything that has something to do with this, because again, if and I look at it like this: if these people didn't come in and try to mix with your people, then they were not that prominent, or they didn't have any power, or they didn't own any land, or have anything to give in this land. The whole thing about this whole colonization, so-called enslavement, servitude, um, and birthing of a nation was about breeding. Point blank, ever so period. Okay, so there's nothing to be embarrassed about, because you have, I think I heard someone recently saying something about people starting to do their genealogy and finding these other things in their bloodlines. Well, that's just the case. Most of these families were prominent families, powerful families that they had to infiltrate in order to gain access to the land. So you would have had to have land for them to want to go in with you, or take down your chiefs and your matriarchal women, so that they can, like I said, bring them in or take them in as prisoners of war and as their children, in a sense. Okay. So this says costumes Mexicans. Now this is not the right, I guess, thing to pull this up in, but I just shared these actually to Facebook. Sometimes it's quicker for me to do that because I was taking pictures with my phone. But anyway, we see me, she, Cain. I mean, I don't know if like that's just how I'm seeing, because again, like, everybody's mind works differently. Okay, I'm dealing with a whole bunch of shit. Like really, I'm overwhelmed. If I was ever overwhelmed at any time, but they won't, the guides and the spirits won't give you too much that you cannot handle. You just have to learn how to discipline yourself and try to figure out the best way that you can display these things. So everybody doesn't have time to put on a full production. Most of those people are the ones with the most potent information. Okay. So um yeah, I noticed this. So Cain, you know, just stood out to me. Again, it might not have anything to do with anything, but I just thought to bring it up. Okay. So I think it's KCQ, maybe Apache. And it says Des Lord something Rio, Colorado, Dan's La California. So I don't know if this is Dan. Anyways, it's making me think of the tribe of Dan, but this might not even say that. We'll wait until I get to the bigger image. So I just wanted to just give a picture image of this, and we see that this person, okay, how we tie this back now. See, he's on a dark horse or a black horse. All right. So one thing we want to notice is that this person is very kind of, he's not, he's very kind of plain looking. I mean, he looks exquisite actually, but I'm just saying he doesn't have too much going on. We have this star here, possibly. Some all of this stuff is symbolic, right? Okay, and then once you see that you start doing this type of research, everything starts to pique your interest. Your eye goes a lot of different places to then put this stuff back to you might have read something or seen something a year ago, and now it's just coming to, you're thinking that's what, and dig more for information. So, anyhow, so we see this. We see that he doesn't have too many animals or anything on him. If anything, he has this face here and another face, I think, on his shoulder. I don't know if this looks like an eye, maybe. I don't know, but it's just some kind of markings here. And we'll notice that he's very solid, very thick, well built. It looks like he might even have like some some of those MC Hammer pants. I'm not trying to be funny, but like maybe even like not Arabic, but you know what I'm saying, Persian. I don't know, something. It looks like these type of uh you might even see the Moors or something in antiquity wearing something like this. Okay, and we see that he has right here on the other images that I've shared prior to this, you'll notice that they have breastplates, right? Of different men. Well, this looks like of the earth. This look like, organic, I mean original. Um, you know what I'm saying? This just look like it what it is. And that somebody else came along and said, "Oh, they wear this to honor that." Well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make some out of nickel. We're gonna make some out of silver and put our faces on it, kind of like the coins that we carry around today. That there's a supposed shortage of. Okay. So, in order to honor, so they're not honoring the earth anymore. Let's make sure they honor these people that are on their breastplates. Now, know that, hey, some of these people did these things and had to be subdued or tilled by these governing forces because they just had to, or you wouldn't be here today. Some of them had to marry other bloodlines, or else you wouldn't be here today. Okay. Or else maybe we don't know why they actually did these things. But again, it made us stronger, and it made us who we are today. It's these bloodlines and this mixture of DNA is what's giving us these powers, or this connection to source in these times that other people cannot achieve. That's just what it is. Okay. And then you have these here look like some locks on the horse. I'll just go ahead and throw that out there real quick. So let's keep going. All right. So I guess I will. It's just one page. Okay. Don't kill me. Okay. So because I'm doing something now. Okay. What I was talking about this book is I'm doing something now, and I've noticed that in this book they have right next to each other. It's called The Great Warriors, I believe was what the book is called. It has. I was wondering how the Sioux and Blackfoot mixed, because that is the clue that we have on my dad's side of the family as to what tribes we might have been. I've also heard Cherokee, but again, the way everything has been mixed up and swirled up, we would never really be able to put it all the way back together, possibly, right? And again, all of this is just to ground us, to give us a confirmation for some people that don't have that yet, with this information to charge something in you to start digging deeper within first, and then using that power, okay, in order to go out and look at the world again, to re-examine things here, because some of these things are clues and notes to build you up, okay, in these times. That's why I still dabble in the biblical text, okay, and all other ancient texts. And now, right now, I'm telling you one thing: my genealogy, okay, led me back to studying the Sumerians, which sounds a lot like the Sioux Indians, um, in Sumer, or Sumerian. And even you'll see a couple of things that I hope to bring out soon about the people, the Sioux nations, or a portion of it being the Sioux Mer, okay, or American, okay. You see, so a lot of things they taught us in school, in education and indoctrination stations, okay, has led us to think. They told us what to think, not how to think. Okay, not how to challenge what they're actually saying. We just conform to it, and you write the answers the way they want you to, or you don't get the grade. Okay, so now you're free to do whatever the hell you want to do with the information. And a lot of the information for us, we can use our soul, our vessel, as a portal to take that information in and bring it back out properly, because that's what's going on. The spirit of truth, the spirit of all of these things talked about in your biblical text, if you know how to read it, is talking about being embodied in you, in your temple, in the highest point. In that when I'm talking about the most high, I'm talking about the most high self. That's a direct connection to source, right? You've come to your Father in your mind's eye, the most high, and you have been given the gifts, See, as a bride, a new or a babe, you've changed the way you thought and you brought these things. So again, it doesn't actually mean that much about worshiping a God. We're just using this information in order to better self, right? Okay. So let me stop rambling and go on here. So it says one spring. Okay. Shortly before the midpoint of the 19th century. Okay. Again, I think everything happened to us in the 1800s. Everything that actually brought us down to our underneath these people's feet, okay, in that lower level of the caste system, happened in the 1800s. It did not happen in the 1600s. The 1600s and 1608 and 1609 and 1619, those people were foreign immigrant people, some darker view and some lighter view, that were brought over here into this land. Some went on to came into Virginia, Maryland, the Virgin Mary, and some of them were let's see, what then, because I think all of the president's bloodlines come out of the Virgin or Virginia. Okay, so if not many of them, but they all are connected in the end anyway, right? Okay, so these are things to keep in mind. Some certain things, you guys that are in those states, I just need to get together with a group that's serious about gathering information and sharing it, or can see. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm trying to write notes down now of how we can break up into portions while we can, right? And I'm thinking of starting a new group that's just for ancestry, and a new group that has a page. I mean, okay, so we have the group, but I want to make pages. And again, we're worried about somebody being able to see what we're doing or whatever, and what we're talking about in our group. These people have all of your information anyway. So what are you going to do? Be afraid because someone sees something you're doing? They've planned everything out to know what our next moves are going to be. So this is why we had to come into our own and then go ahead and break away from that and show them what we really are and what we're really capable of. Okay. So again, I don't give a damn about nobody looking at what I'm talking about. They can see and hear everything that you're doing right now. Okay. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Maybe we can go back to a newsletter. Maybe we can get a directory together. Maybe we can start transferring information through mail. Things like this. Writing letters again, if it's something that detrimental. Okay. But for now, and since we don't have a website and I don't know how to do it, if someone can help me or wouldn't mind creating something like that for the group or for the channel, that would be great. But until then, this is the best way that I can think with the limited amount of time that I have. Okay. Um, so one for genealogy and for people to help each other with names. And then I want to do one for a study group of people that dig into their own counties, because we can't all travel due to this thing that's going around. We can't all travel. So you can maybe go to your this and get some information from me. And I can maybe go to mine if I live in your state to get the information from a courthouse or from a library or something, some documents for you. I may have them already. You see what I'm saying? So we should focus on where people are from to help them gather information there, and where they live now, because they may be in a state that you actually live in. I mean, that you used to live in, that they can actually go and obtain some information for you. Okay. So anyhow, that's something to come with this new 2021 coming up here. Okay. So it says here that the exact year remains uncertain. Of course, they just don't want to give it, okay? Because it'll probably lead to too many clues, okay? The leaders of the Membres Apache band assembled in council to consider their future, dealing with the Mexican state of Chihuahua or Chihuahua. And I don't know, this is making me think of Chicago. Um, but I don't think that that's what, whatever. Okay. So yeah, that's what I was saying about like pronunciations. Don't let them dictate with the name just because it's spelt some kind of way that it doesn't mean something. Go into the different meanings in different languages that you're led to see what these terms mean. Because most of the time the answer will be in the meaning of the name because they didn't want to make the name the same as someone else that you might be able to link up with the biblical text or another ancient text. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so sometimes when you're reading these things, and if it sounds, it may be spelt different, but if it sounds that exact way, then that's probably what it is. And you can go forward with that and find more information. If you don't, then you stop. See, it's just that simple. But most of the time, I keep going because the information keeps coming. Okay, so, um, which lay on the southern fringe of their traditional range. Okay. Included in the council was a young warrior named Go Leia, which just looks like Goliath. Okay. Goliah. I don't know. That's just making me think of that name for some reason. Doesn't have to be. One who yawns. Okay. And then what is yawn? Okay. Act of yawning. 1690 from yawn, meaning boring thing. Okay. Is attested in 1889. This is the noun here now, which I'm learning is just the name of something, you know. Um, like I said, I learn a lot from other people as far as how to start paying attention because I look at things more from the mind's eye and I just go with it. I just go with it and it either lead me somewhere or it don't. You know what I'm saying? And I use actually this information you see me using here. But again, most of it has already been there and then I'm seeing. Or it might happen the other way around. Okay. Um, Yemen, sound like Yemen. Hmm. Gape or agape. Hmm. Open the mouth wide, huh? Let's see. This is the verb to request, to yawn, to be wide open, to be wide open. Okay. Or what is this term here? Usually when I click on these, this gives a lot more understanding. Um, so uh gay wait, gaheya, gahe, I don't know. Um, gape or be widened. Let's see. Part of chaos. Okay. Hiatus. Mm, be ajar. Okay. Dutch. Ki you win. Okay. To yawn. Okay. And I'll just look at this one real quick and then we can move on. But it's kind of even making me think of if we just go with personality or traits, somebody that would be somebody that talk a lot or always got their mouth open saying something or open, even like a talking about like an open jar when something might be in there that's fragrant, and when you open it, you can you know use your sensors or senses um to get a better look. A gap, noun, an opening in a wall or a hedge or a break or a breach. Maybe like even a breach of contract. Chase some empty space, stare. Okay. From late 14th century as a break or opening between mountains. See, because again, even just breach, I'm thinking now, okay? Oh, it was up here too, okay? So even like a dam or something, even just making me think of it. But between mountains, okay? So again, this may be something because there was a mountain type shape behind him. This may have something to do with two great nations or powerful nations, um, bodies of people, old and new, right? That would be just great, okay, um, in one's eye. All right. Um, they probably thought, if this is talking about groups of indigenous or aboriginal or original peoples, it could be talking about how they already knew they was the stuff, but other people that came in knew they was the stuff too, and that's why they took that stuff in and tried to break it down or subdue it or till it, to break it into smaller pieces to dismantle it more easily. Do you see what I'm saying? So causing strife between two groups. And this is another thing that I'm listening and hearing and reading in this Sumerian thing. Okay. Not to say that these are the people, but I'm just saying where my mind is, usually other things, even if it's a little bit in this little thing here that expands on what I'm seeing over here. Okay. All right. A broader sense. So yeah, just like that, a broader sense of things, like I just said with the jar opening. Unfilled space or intervals. Okay, so unfilled space. So again, this space was not filled prior to, but somebody filled it with something. Any hiatus or interruption. Internal, interrupt. 1600s in U.S. Common in places and names reference to a deep break or a pass in a long mountain chain. Okay, so again, this could be a chain of kinfolk or a line, okay, in lineage, okay, possibly as well. Okay, especially one that water flows through. Exactly. Okay, so this could be on the physical. See, this is why everything is spiritual, physical, and historical, and what happens now. It's just all a span because okay, the, a long bloodline, deep, pure, also, which always brings me back to white, because I noticed that some of these people on census paperwork, okay, um, it says something about mm, even in the biblical text. I can't remember what, because I'm doing something on it now, but oh, with the 70 years, I think I might have talked about it in that Social Security Mark of the Beast video. um that these people were supposed to be 70 years, maybe 80 if something goes well, and which also then sparks me looking at the media, noticing that Trump and all these people are around or at 80 years old. Biden, Fauci, what's her name, Pelosi, all these key players. These are the, and again, on just to be a little lighthearted but serious, because this does actually have a lot to do with what's going on here. This is why that movie was such a success, things like The Dark Crystal, because if you haven't watched that on Netflix, I'm telling you, you sleeping. It's a way for them to show you in a different way by giving you different visuals, okay, but giving you the real jewels, okay, by using something like mythology is really truth, okay, is more true, a truer way of looking at it, or more original way of looking at it than his story, okay, because that's his story told the way he wants it to be told, but he spills the beans in folklore and mythology. And lore was one of the creatures actually that was in the Dark Crystal. So these actually Pelosi and Schumer are most definitely the two Skeksis that I shared in my face on my Facebook page. If you sit there and watch just a clip of them communicating with each other, you will see what I'm talking about. And then watch how Nancy Pelosi and Schumer are always together and how they look. This is exactly who it is. Okay. And I think Trump is one of them. Um, Whoever the president over there in China is one of them. I think the one general or whatever, I think, um, with the black ponytail. Anyways, okay, I know y'all didn't come here for that. So let's just stop with that. But I'm just trying to show you how, if I'm saying that, someone's going to think that this is a joke. But at the end of the day, it's realer than what is supposed to be real. Okay. So this is talking about especially one that water flows through. Now, this could be talking about a mountain chain that water goes through. And that's very important for us to talk about, because we're actually going to be fucking around in the mountains, right? Most of us. Most of us are not. And even if you are, it's not for anything professional or anything. For the people that actually do spend time, they just want to hike and enjoy the beauty. Okay. When, if we were more out there, again, which I don't, sometimes I feel that there's more of a connection um, with than we think. with going out into that type of nature, the real nitty gritty. Not just your backyard, that's fine. But I'm just saying that's what we have been domesticated to be, to stay within our hoods or neighborhoods or ghettos or whatever, in our concrete jungles, instead of going out and venturing out. There may be something there that we are just not aware of, that other people out there try to take on or either keep you away from, you know? So, sorry, I heard somebody at the door. Okay, so anyways, especially one that water flows through. So what I'm saying is, in the biblical text, most of the time you're talking about waters is talking about groups of colonizers or foreign immigrant alien people. Okay? We have we read a Bible that actually states this, that the Most High is King James and God is his Father. And it also states that water is talking about the people. Even in other texts, it says the water is speaking of people. The earth is also the original people that are originally nowhere else but on that land. And some of these people are actually going to be the people that came in, that grafted in or amalgamated with our people, are also going to be found only in that place. But it's because of the people that they mixed with and how close to those people they were that they mixed with, that you can only find those people with that DNA and that makeup when it comes to, and they even say this when it comes to some of the so-called Native Americans, that their bloodlines and their makeup is distinctive to America, and you can't find that anywhere else. That's because one group mixed with one group, and they have been here ever since. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be careful. Okay, when they're talking about Indians, by the time they started talking about Indians, they say Columbus called them Indians. He may have, he may not have. The only thing is, by the time that the Europeans, from that 1828 dictionary version of what American means, by the time the Europeans got here in the 1600s, hence the 1600s, there were Indians there then, but Indian would refer to any type of people that had mixed into, any type of people that had been born on that land through a bloodline or the womb of an original tribe. This is what this is talking about. It just is not you, okay? But when it comes to the originals, that is you. See? And it has more to do with the spirit that's within inside of you and the energy and the frequency that's surrounding you than anything, because someone else can fool you that looks like you, that may not have been here or have come from another place and are acting as though they are, and they're enjoying the benefits with your so-called white oppressor, which is why I don't look at white supremacy as white supremacy. It is foreign privilege, because so-called black looking people came here too, and they are sitting here taking an advantage of you in entertainment industry. Okay, because that's all they are big commercials, brands, okay, that people use to get you to do things and to think certain things in politics and religion and education. All of these people are no, excuse me, whether they know it or not, are acting, okay, are acting as something that's getting between you and your land. Okay, all right. Some of these have the spirits of the ancient of their ancient gods. Okay, know that. Know that. Okay. So let's see. And if their ancient gods were against you then these people can very well be against you now. All right. So let's see. 1600. Okay. Okay. So with the water running through it. So again, that's bloodlines or trees and fruits. All of this stuff in Genesis was talking about you, not no damn animals. Let's get that straight. Okay. Different groups of people. All right. And when we're talking about the Sumerians, I'm feeling like they're having to do, when they're talking about coming down at the base of the mountain and all this other stuff, it's making me think Appalachian. And if you look at that term Appalachian, and we'll get more into it later. As you can see, I'm probably a little bit excited to start getting into this. One second.